In a few seconds, we're supposed to be online. All right, I think we are online already. Hello, Ellen.
Hi, Alex. Nice
Thank you
meeting
very
you
much.
again.
Yes, nice meeting you again. Recently, we were in a live talk show in your place. Now you decided to join and share your knowledge and wisdom in our Let's Talk It Through live conversations. I'm very happy to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First of all, I would like just to, and because I am trying to keep, let's talk it through in a very, very casual way. And I would say like, like down to earth and simple conversation without any special kind of scripting or anything. So would you please introduce yourself? So if people have a little bit better understanding, what are you doing and yeah, what is your experience and so on, so on.
Okay, sure. So I'm Patricia. I'm from Indonesia, and I am working as a profession. I'm working as a professional coach as well as a professional counselor, as well as learning consultant for different institutions. And I'm also a mother of one son. My son is now 15 years old. He's in the first grade of high school. And we're living here together with my husband and also with my aunt who has been living with us for ages since I was small.
Okay, great. So yeah, I assume that essential part which we'll be discussing today in relation to parents, you can actually relate to real situations and real real life experiences which you went through or maybe currently having, right?
Yes.
All right. So
Would
yeah,
love to share.
yeah, yeah, adaptive. I was curious about adaptive parenting. You know, how you would define. I mean, why adaptive? What is the essence of that term?
Okay, so adaptive actually comes from essentially the word adapt. That is basically what we do during this pandemic, I think. Everyone in every situation is adapting, and including that would include parents and include schools and include children as well. Children meaning teenagers included, I suppose. And even those in the university, they are also adapting. So, but considering that most of parents actually has those who are still in the high school and below at home, whereas the university usually more independent. That's why I called it more towards the adaptive parenting. And I think we're trying to, like you say, not to make it theoretical, but to see how does it apply in real life cases and how that implementation actually relate back to whatever theory that people have said.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I am in my past. I am theoretical physicist, so I know that sometimes it's very easy to create theories or to know theories, and a little bit different to apply. And when the real situation comes, yeah, that's where the challenge might be. And the adaptive word itself kind of really resonate because I several times already mentioned in the first day of our lockdown here in Spain, in Barcelona, my wife sent me, by the way, over WhatsApp, because she was in a different room of our apartment, she sent me the quote of Charles Darwin. And it's not the strongest, or it's not the most intelligent who will survive. Survives the one who adapt the most to changed situation. And yeah, like maybe there are some, that's why adaptive, yeah, somehow it's a really powerful word, especially in these conditions. So well, if we just jump straight to examples, can you give can we discuss for example one of the examples of the parenting challenges which you personally went through, and maybe you developed already some strategies, or at least you tried something?
Yes, I think recalling back what has been happening in our home for about a month plus. That was since everything is been done from home, actually here in my city. So the first week is actually more on everyone meaning me, my husband, and my son is trying to find a new rhythm that works for us. It's like we're swimming in endless possibilities and trying different things, not knowing whether which one will work.
Yeah.
And I think at that particular week, I sort of let go of expectation of things should be okay, because I don't know which strategy will be okay, to be honest, because we are all new in this situation. So what I particularly do and make a point to constantly remind my mind is to let go of any expectation of my husband, expectations of my son. I mean, of course, there are basic civilized communication way that we still maintain that is a value. But other than that, I'm trying to lower my expectation, knowing and being aware that everyone is adapting and they're trying their best. Like me, they're also trying to find the best rhythm and they're trying to find the best way to how to move forward in this sudden and abrupt and massive situation and changes.
Yeah.
So I think that was the very first week that is happening in our home. And I
Makes
think
sense.
that's, yeah,
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Sorry, please go on.
yeah. So that's sort of, I think, help us to move forward in an agreeable way with each other and minimizing less conflict, not in a way that is conflict avoidance, not in that sense, but in a sense that more understanding towards each other, that we are we know that all of us, each of us is trying our best and that should be good enough.
Yeah, that's nice.
um
Allow some time,
yes.
be patient. I mean, that's probably, yeah, what I'm hearing is, well, the routine, everybody's routine and rhythm, as you said, suddenly got broken, and to find the new one and to see which one works, especially when, the family is together. So yeah, more patience and give time to find everybody, its own routine. And as you said, lowering expectations actually make it maybe at least, a degree easier or softer than usually it would be. Awesome. Okay, good.
Yes, and expectation, I think, also on myself, because I also tend to have high expectation of myself. So to be able to accept myself for for needing time to know what ways or that we can implement best, or to find new strategies that works for the family.
Yeah.
So it's for me internally and also for others, because along the way, I mean, it has not been a very smooth sailing all the time, but what I've came to realize that during this particular moment, that whenever I am centered and grounded in myself, I am more able to respond in a way that is helpful towards moving, helping others to move towards what is agreed on. Others meaning my husband and also my son, and particularly my son, because he is a teenager. That mood swing and emotion is not as stable as adults. So again, whenever I find I am more centered and grounded in myself, I am more able to respond as a better parent in this all changes situation.
Great. Tell me, please. I'm curious about, because maybe some people who watch our conversation right now not quite sure what centered and grounded is. I could I could guess what it is, and but tell me, please, and tell us few words. What does it mean, and how exactly you do that to become more grounded and centered?
Okay, I think what I have in mind when I say centered and grounded is to have that time for myself, to just grouping again after thinking about so many things and so scattered around,
Yeah.
doing households, caring for children, caring for parents, caring for husband, and then work work stuff that also piling because of these massive changes, a lot of shifts and pivot that we have to do. I mean, it's all scattered. My brain is all scattered, but making time every now and then to just regroup, to just, okay, Alan, just centered on something that is not work related. I mean, just on plants or on my breath, on anything that is not work related, just to be detached and again regroup again my thoughts that has been scattered on so many things, and to sort of feel again my internal tank. Because I suppose, I guess this metaphor that comes to mind whenever I am doing things, it's sort of like I'm pouring out of my cup. So I need to make sure that my cup is filled when I'm pouring, because when I'm pouring with an empty cup, nothing comes up.
Yep.
So that time, that so-called, probably a popular term, me time, that me time is particularly precious for me during this time. It's the fuel that enables me to adapt. It's the fuel that enables me to respond in I would say a wiser way,
Yeah.
not coming from a reactive emotional response, but really coming from a thoughtful response,
That,
because I have that tank
that's
filled.
powerful. That's a huge thing. Yeah, resonates in many, many ways. So you become less reactive, and as a result can regulate the way you respond to situations. And in order to be less reactive, you need to have energy. You need, as you said, grounded and centered. And the only way to do it is through caring or finding time to take care of yourself. And that caring of yourself become as important, maybe even more important than other things, because you are not efficient in other things unless you have energy or your cup, as you say, your cup full. Very nice. Okay, interesting. We are talking about parenting. We are talking about, but as a result, we almost touching some kind of not spiritual, but I would say close to spiritual practice, because finding time to quiet your mind, and as maybe Buddhists say, not doing. I mean, there is a term of the not doing in Buddhist practice, and well, when you are not doing things, in some ways you are collecting energy. You are taking care of yourself. Okay, very nice. In terms of problems with the children, and is there any particular case, for example, we could discuss, which happened in your family or maybe in your client's family, in relation to children, like not a typical one, but the one which relates more or less to this particular environment we are all in?
Yes, I think one significant shift that happens is more time for screen, definitely, not only for me and my husband, but also for my son.
Oh yeah.
Because learning is screen time and playing is screen time, and you cannot connect with friends physically, so you connect with friends through screen. Everything is done through screen. So the old agreement that we have is no longer working, that this is that we allow screen time for every day. It's not working anymore, so we have to make something that is more suitable to the current context, because everything again is screen time.
True.
So yeah, so what I've and again, connecting is important. I think, I personally believe that we are social beings and we need to connect to others. That's a need, that's not a want, that's a need. So in this kind of situation where one can only connect to friends to screen, there's no other way than increasing the screen time in order to accommodate that connection. I mean,
Yeah.
teenagers play now with friends. I mean, I witnessed my son play with his friends, not just playing, but they're communicating as well. They're building up strategies how to, I mean, when those children play online games, that they connect and they build strategies together real time. And I think in this particular moment, I choose to view that as a way of one, building connection, that which is the only option that he has at the moment. And again, second, it's that he is learning life skills through that. I mean, we know that it has been there's a lot of pro and cons about how much screen time that a child or a teen or a person should have. But I
Yeah.
think at this particular abnormal time, because this is not normal, this is, well, abnormal in a sense that it's not the old normal that we have.
Yeah.
Right now, what we're doing is we are accommodating more screen time, but we are monitoring what is happening in that screen time. I mean, is connection happening with friends? I mean, real time connection, not just chatting, but real time conversation. And whether skills are being built through that time in this on the screen, apart from that schooling time, of course, because schooling time is also becoming less significantly. I mean, he used to go to school from 7 to around 3. Now
Yeah.
it's still within that period, but there is much more break in between. So different things are happening. So again, we are allowing for much more screen time, but we are paying attention to what is happening. um, Again, the communication and what skills are being built. And I think in a way it's also require me and my husband to really shift. Well, we have been shifting, but not as dramatic as this. Like I said, I am also a learning consultant. I've been voicing out this education 4.0, and that how education should not be based on gathering knowledge, but really on building skills that is working, and building skills that is preparing one for the future.
Yeah.
So this situation is sort of push us much further into that direction, because definitely this is not a time when a teenager especially try to get knowledge which are academically related. But every now and then, I mean, I'm not like every time behind his back. I think that would create conflict, of course, within us. But every now and then I will sort of just drop in and see where you're playing and just get curious. I think that also a key for us in this home, to just get curious about what he is doing and get curious about what my husband is doing, curious in a healthy way, of course, so that from there we build conversation. Oh, that then from that I know that he's now playing Minecraft. um, no promotion here, it's just that I'm explaining about what is my son is playing. He's playing Minecraft, and I from time to time I noticed that he's watching a video on Minecraft, and I asked, what is it that this video is actually showing or telling? Oh, this is showing me how to build cannon in such and such situation. So from that I conclude he is learning on himself with his own initiative. He's learning, he's building his learning skill, because learning is a skill. You don't automatically know how to learn, it has to be practiced. So
Yeah.
he's reinforcing his learning skill independently. That, but that comes from his interest. And also I notice, oh, what are you doing now in this particular moment, because there are many things that I can do in that particular game. Oh, I'm doing this with my friends and this is our strategy. So he is collaborating to create strategy, which is also, I think, is a good skill to develop. So I think what, again, when I say we allow for more screen time because that's the only way he can connect and learn. Also, I think what is key in our house is to just monitor, of course, in a healthy way, how that screen time is being used, and to just complement it when it is being used well, though may not, again, similar to what we have agreed previously in terms of frequency and intensity.
Yeah. So that's what where I see adaptivity or adapt as we are discussing right now, adaptive kind of qualities of parenting. So the situation changed. It would be really strange to, to bring the old rules to the completely new situation. So you reevaluate, you reevaluated everything, and with your new values, because communication with other children is a very high value. Learning new skills, very high value. And if the phone and screen is the only way right now, so you changed the rules and you become, it's actually, you made it softer. As I understood, you are trying in a curious, gentle way to monitor the quality of that screen. I mean, the it's supposed to be devoted to something which has high value, like learning, building skills, communication, and so on. I'm curious about what happened when you discovered, for example, that right now the quality of screen is not probably, or you come to conclusion that you need to say something and stop it in some ways. How to do it gently? I mean, what is your way, your strategy to interfere?
Well, actually, that just happened very recently. That just happened last night, actually. And
Okay.
what happened was I already, because we share our laptop. I still, I'm not, my husband and I, we still believe that he is not, um, he's not at the age whereby he can use his own laptop. That means we share the laptops, and that we still hold on. So we have agreed the days before that I will be using the laptop. Yesterday evening, there's a training that I need to facilitate, and but he came to its situation whereby, according to him, this is the ideal time for, for a something that he called a raid in that online game. So he's trying to bargain whether I can use uh, other devices, either my phone or anything that he can use this laptop. Of course, I can use my husband's laptop, but my husband is more of a tablet, so he's not very comfortable playing with a tablet because it is more comfortable here on this gadget. So of course I cannot. I mean, it's a training that people paid to get into, and I have to give my best to those people that have paid. So I said no, but I'm very, very thankful that early in the morning on that day, when I say I've tried to make time for myself from time to time, it's not every day, but every several days. Whenever I feel I'm relying a lot on my intuition, actually. When I'm starting to feel I'm getting low on my emotional energy, then I know I need to feel it again. So what happened is I'm very thankful that on the morning yesterday, I happened to have that precious time. So that me time was happening early in the morning yesterday. So I'm sort of like still in a full situation. My cup is more or less full. So I am able to respond in a less reactive manner, but to be, what I always say, to be gentle but firm. Firm in a way that no is still a no. I still need the laptop. I'm sorry. But to be able to say it in a gentle way, that, like this, I mean, I'm sorry, I can't. This is a training that I need to facilitate and I have to give my best. So what do you suggest that we do in this situation whereby I need this for people who already paid and you need this for a game? What do you suggest? So coming from that space, I mean, this is just an example. I mean, there are a couple of things, but on a similar threads. So coming from that place of being firm but gentle, I found that it helps to sort of make the conflict, because I think one way is that, of course, we don't seek out conflict, but when it does come, don't shy away from it, because if we just shy away from conflict, I don't think it's going to be healthy. But of course, again, we do not seek for it. But to be firm but gentle, though honestly, not always able to do that, especially when my emotional energy is low. It requires a lot of emotional energy to be able to do that. So that's why I said caring for myself, making sure my emotional energy is high, is something that enables me to do this adaptation in how we care for the family.
Very nice. Thank you, Ellen, for sharing. Because what I hear also is that first of all, in many ways, I think psychological researches shows that very often it's not what you say, it's about how you say things which really
Mm,
matters. Because some researchers say that 80% of the tonality of voice is really picked up by people around you, not really exactly what you are saying. So the meaning actually meaning, the attitude, the towards other people, they're transferred not just through meaning of words, but, and I agree with you. So when you are not in a reactive, when you are able to gently say, even if it's a firm no, but tone of voice and also yeah, that would make a huge difference. And another thing which I noticed when you explained that you actually explaining to your child why. I mean, I think it's very clear, kind of demonstrating. Maybe I hope, he will be also learning the priorities, because when you are conducting training which people paid for, and you need to do your best, it's in terms of value behind, on your scale, it's just higher than any games to play. I mean, and maybe somehow subconsciously by explaining that, he's also learning. Maybe no, not
yes.
directly, but definitely, at least he's learning your priorities and your set of values. Okay, that's
Yes.
that's interesting. All
And
right.
I think
Mm-hmm.
also to give space and time for emotional feelings to comes up. I mean, no one is happy when what he or she wants is not gotten. Like my son is not happy, but I can accept that he's not happy and just give him time and space to just process his feelings and not expecting him to just repress those feelings. I think that it becomes even unhealthier.
Mm-hmm. 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 Well, again, it's also it's also possibility to negotiate. I don't know if there is a I would say possibility to plan in advance. Maybe his
Hmm.
expectations would be not as high. I don't know. Of course, it's sometimes it's tricky. I mean, you don't need to like announce to everyone when your trainings are, when laptop will be kind of 100% occupied and
Oh,
other
I did
things.
actually.
But oh, okay. Then in many ways, kind of that he's unhappy, but yeah, if it was agreed, yeah, that's or maybe he was unhappy that he couldn't negotiate successfully. And okay, I see. Okay, so anything else in terms? We are right now talking around half an hour, so I would like to wrap up. What would be your, I would say, like a recommendation for people who right now have troubles with children, and they are? I'm sure there are many nuances and specific situations, where people have troubles with the parenting. So what would be your recommendation as something, or maybe some kind of exercise or whatever comes to your mind that you believe would definitely help to resolve those situations?
Yeah, I think um, just a couple of very short points. One is that, like you say, this time is an opportunity to be just keep an open mind to reevaluate whatever rules that we have set in our homes, because those rules that works in the previous situation may not work in this current situation, and we need to adapt those rules to make it fitter to this new situation.
Mm-hmm.
And also to be gentle to everyone, including ourselves,
Yeah.
in responding to the situation, making sure that we, again, to be gentle with others needs to come from that gentleness that we've done previously to ourselves. Like I say, filling our cup before we pour it to others, so that we can respond to whatever changes that may comes. Because I don't know, this may work this time, but it may not work probably 2 3 weeks from now when situation probably changes again.
Mhm.
So that would be my 2 cents.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much, Ellen. I totally agree. Changes does require energy. And if you are not taking care of having that energy, changes would be really tough on you. And yeah, so, and we are talking about adaptivity or being able to adapt to changes. So start with yourself and gather energy and find some regular, maybe some regular routine which helps you to maintain it and be aware of that level. And from there, I think you could improve parenting by being patient and gentle, by paying attention and changing your rules. Awesome advice, Ellen. Thank you very much for coming for the talk show, and happy to see you soon again.
Thanks, Alex. Bye.
Bye
Have a nice
bye.
day.
Bye bye. You too. Bye.